Good evening, and welcome to another edition of the New Black Leadership Coalition live CAN television show here in the studio of CAN Television. My name is Gregory Sane, one of the members of the New Black Leadership, and I am very, very honored and very, very privileged and blessed to say the least to have another opportunity for us to get it right. I am very, very thankful that the Creator blessed me with courage and conviction and really pure love to be provocative, yet to be sincere about the condition of my people, black folks, and humanity as a whole. And so I am forever thankful to the Creator. You can call him Yahweh, Allah, you can call him Jehovah, you can say Muhammad, Christ, you can say all of that. You can put whatever label you like. But it's our work, it's our heart, it's our energy, it's our vibration that really connects us to a higher power and spirituality. And when you look at the conditions of our community, you know there's a lack of real leadership that will forge the way of really true liberation, true salvation. And they will not scratch where they don't itch. When you're a real leader, when you really care, then you don't say things just to go along to get along. You say what you mean and you mean what you say. And we have, unfortunately, too many individuals out here that are representing us without any permission. And you can represent yourself all you like, but at the end of the day, you're not a spokesperson for the community. No one appointed you. And unfortunately, we have way too many hustlers, way too many poverty pimps. And we got people that are very bright, they're great historians, but they themselves don't work in unity. And you know, the wise man that many of you all reject, too many of you all, and you're not familiar with that work, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad mentioned that our unity is more powerful than a nuclear bomb. And you know, and I talk to people all day about this concept of the new black leadership. But when we say new black leadership, you got to understand that we're saying the new black leadership coalition. And this coalition is comprised of many type of minds, personalities, individuals that are out here doing the work, from Brother Cyron Smith, who is a phenomenal brother when it comes to block clubs. Brother Enoch Muhammad, who is a general out here when it comes to hip-hop detox and going inside of schools and motivating and inspiring the youth. We got Brother Ro Davis, the BOP 5000 Center. This brother is making all kind of economic moves and with housing and etc. I mean, we have professors. We just did finish a series of two of them at Chicago State, where we had Professor Kelly, who our guest last week. It was a great discussion with former Senate President Emil Jones was out and gave a great discussion regarding Michael Madigan and the Senate and his relationship with number 44. And so we've had many people on, but I want to go back to something. You know, we are very much preoccupied. And listen, if you would like to, before I forget, you could call in if you and talk. And if you have any comments, 312-738-1060. 312-738-1060. But I mentioned a thing about God. When you talk about organization, when you talk about programs, when you talk about survival, when you talk about unity, and then when you talk about leadership, there are people who have titles, but they are not leaders. They are not shepherds. They don't really, really believe in feeding the flock, accurate information, that will break us from dependency, that will give us the tenacity to challenge and check, our own family, our own brothers and sisters, etc., down the street, around the corner, that's part of our family, and some that are disguising, as though they're individuals that believe in the movement, believe in the upliftment of the community. And we got some fakes out here. Because when you look at the lack of progress, and I mean, you listen to some of the radio shows and they bring on guests, and tonight across the news stations, and you're going to hear people debating about what Mr. Donald Trump had to say. But yet, we won't listen to what we have to say and really what we should be doing. I said this yesterday on the program. Me and Minister Michael was on last night on Intellectual Radio. We on there every Monday night at 7 o'clock, the New Black Leadership. And I had mentioned that many of you're afraid to tune in to listen to the Honorable Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan. You are. And so when you hear people talk about fake news and the media, here's a man who spoke truth to power for 3 hours. You did not hear any of the so-called talk show hosts. What are you talking about? What is it that you wasting precious airtime because you're not giving any life-giving teachings, instructions, motivations. You're not organizing people into direct actions to fix what's wrong. And the New Black Leadership is we are organizing, not just running our mouth, but we are coming together and we are going to do many, many, many things that will absolutely cause the movement that's missing. The movement that's missing is the will to do the work. We got a bunch of folks who can come on here and talk until they blue black, but they not willing to put up. So I say shut up. I say shut up. And I say that strongly because there's no way to fix these problems worrying about who's in the White House. I'm saying it makes no sense to worry about who are in the White's house. It's back. And at the end of the day, we have to look at ourselves in the mirror. And some of us have been cowards when it comes to liberation. We've been cowards. You won't even tune in to get some wisdom, but yet you will break your neck to watch some stupid program on television. You send all kind of posts about what somebody was wearing at the Oscars. Denzel should have got another Oscars, and the other lady, blah, blah, blah. A waste. A waste. And then you want to cry about the violence, And let me say this. My condolences go out to many of you all that have lost loved ones. And when you go to a funeral and you see folks that you know, whether it's family, friends, or acquaintances, you hear sermons. You hear folks talking about death, and you see it. You feel it, not death, but the reality for a few minutes is there. And you start thinking about your life. Well, when we sitting up in our meetings at the New Black Leadership, what we have in mind is the mental death, the spiritual death of our community. And so it brings pain to us that after, we walk through and the community or we attend a funeral service, it's almost as though you give it a few minutes and we back to partying. We back to where we started from. And at the end of the day, I think that should remind all of us that we're finite. We're not going to be here forever. We don't know what tomorrow brings or the next hour. So why die a coward? A coward dies 1,000 times. So the leadership that we've been under, so-called leadership, and and all due respect, I know some of you all are watching that are, I don't want to call you elders because but out of respect we say elders. We're not saying you old, but we know many of you all have been trailblazers. Some of you all have laid foundations, but you went back to sleep. You went back to sleep. And some of you all, you never really, you never was doing this for the right reasons. You were doing this because you made a name for yourself and you made some money. But if you sincere, you would not be retired. You retire when you die. You should still be on your post. I mean, our community is in dire need. We need all the community organizers. If you notice, Barack Obama called himself a community organizer. He used the proper word, organizer. Didn't organize much, but, he did one voter drive or something like that. I'm just telling you the truth, whether you like it or not. But organizing is the thing. Organizing is the thing. And we are really determined as a coalition to expand it so that we can do more leadership development. Because there are many of you all out there, you're running wild, no discipline, no foundation, and I guess it gets you high. When you see yourself behind the cameras. You can get drunk off that stuff. But it really requires humility. This is some serious, serious work. And you got to tell me, when will we see progress? Why haven't we seen progress? Are we waiting on Governor Rauner? Are we waiting on Mayor Rahm Emanuel? Are we waiting on President Donald Trump? Are we waiting on the Black Congressional Caucus, whether they in Washington, Springfield, or at the City Hall? Are we waiting on them? We waiting to hit the lottery? What is it that it's going to take? What it really requires is that all of those people feel our wrath when they don't work for us. And then we make all of them accountable. We don't make anybody accountable. Not anyone. And that's why I say sometime when I listen to a few of the stations, the only one that I'm really comfortable with, and I have to say this, is Brother Harold Davis and the Butt Naked Truth. I'm only comfortable with that show that comes on every day from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., Tuesday through Friday, the Butt Naked Truth. You say, well, what about WVON? What about WVON? What about it? Do I love Cliff? Yeah, I love Cliff. Do I love Matt? Yeah, I love Matt. Do I love Dorothy Tim? Yeah, I love Dorothy Tim. Do I love Pierre? But they are totally out of tune and touch with the conversations that our community needs. You cannot continue to go along to get along. I understand you have sponsors and etc. That's why we have to sponsor our own movement. That means you can't say nothing. You can't say nothing or you're going to be cut off. That's silly. That's why there's only one man that's free. Did you know that? There's only one man that's free in America. Nope, just one man. One man that's free. Nope, T.D. Jakes ain't free. Nope, Eddie Long wasn't free. Nope, they not free. Jesse, not free. Sharpton, definitely not free. Nope, one man. One man only. And you know who that is. If you know who that man is and you watching me by via Facebook, if you get this right, I'll take you to dinner. I'm not going to say his name yet. It's one man free. If they write you, Mike is on Facebook Live. If you write down that one man name, I promise you, I'll take you to dinner. Who is that only man that's free? You got to be wise. Can't be afraid. Who is that one man? I'm waiting to see that one man that's free. Anybody? Anybody like to take a... it should be real easy to answer. I can't see all of the comments, but I'm sure somebody got it right. Only one man that's free. Who is it, Brother Quincy? Who is that only free man? I know you know, brother. One of my young mentees. Boy, Willie D. Rogers, you got a dinner coming to you. Willie D. Rogers said, Louis Farrakhan. And you know what? We so silly that we allow folks to turn us away from folks that really, individuals, family, that really are putting their life on the line for us. Marcus Garvey, many of you all don't say nothing about Marcus Garvey anymore. You don't say nothing about Noble Drew Ali. You say very little about Nat Turner. Very little about Stokely or Kwame Ture. Very little about Paul Robeson. You don't say too much. You don't. Because you have been duped by fake leadership that really have never put their life on the line. You're going to hear from us real soon, the new black leadership. We're going to be having and hosting a roundtable discussion. We're going to make the announcements on this show, on our Facebook, website, etc. We haven't completed the website. It'll be up within the next few weeks or so, or sooner. But this roundtable discussion is going to be pretty heavy. We got to call in the room everybody. Everybody's got to come in the room. And I'm very confident that, and many of you all have a lot of respect for the founder, co-founder, co-host of this show and the other show, our brother and friend, Minister Michael Muhammad. Many of you are familiar with him. Excuse me. But he will set the tone for that meeting. And the words that will come out of his mouth will be crystal clear of the work that need to be done. And that's why I know for a fact that God is with us. And I know a lot of you all, you get on prayer lines and we need prayer. Lord knows we need prayer. But be in tune. Be more in tune with reality. You know, because that's what's missing. Reality. We must do the work. Got a caller on. I'm going to take this caller. Good evening, caller. How you doing? I hear echo.
You get on prayer lines and we need prayer. Lord knows we need prayer. But then,
Hello, caller. Are you there? Okay. That was somebody just played whatever I was saying back. I guess I said we need prayer. Brother Obadeli just joined. Call in, Obadeli. This brother right here, one of our members of the New Black Leadership, always have something to say. 312-738-1060. 312-738-1060. But if we continue to wait on this mystery God to fix all of the issues, and I'm telling you, it was an urgent call when Minister Michael called me, and it was some months ago, and we came to the table. I could see the void when that was here in leadership. I promise you, right away, as busy as I am and doing other things, I stopped what I was doing because I knew this was one of the most important missions that I have as a human being. Unapologetically, we must not be afraid to speak truth to power. God got your back. I see many of you all that are very frustrated about the crime. But I said this yesterday, last week, last month. How many people you know on your block? If you were listening last night, Brother Cyron Smith laid it out. I mean, he laid it out scientifically about how block clubs can fix so many of the issues that we have in our community. Block clubs. The man is a scientist when it comes to block clubs and organizing. He is an organizer through the means of block clubs. But Obadeli, that brother is an organizer. I mean, we have so many. I miss Brother Joe Watkins. I miss Brother Chris Moore. I miss Brother Kwesi Harris at Chicago State. I miss those brothers because they brought a lot of energies. But now we have young brothers like Brother David Peterson at the Pullman Porters Museum. And I'm telling you, that's a dynamic young leader that is organizing and making a difference. 312-738-1060. And I'm telling you folks, sometimes all you need is a few minutes on this air. All you need is a few minutes. And I'm not taking nothing away from you going and listening to, music at the church and a good sermon. We all love a good sermon. But we're not organized people. Your pastor, your bishop, your reverend, your clergy, they all need to be on the same page. If they're not on the same page, they are not working for God. God represents unity. It ain't just your church, my church, our church. No, it's one church. And if it isn't, that's why it's not working. It becomes your hustle. It ain't your flock. They work for God. And God wants to see us as one family. But how many of those churches or mosques and etc. have pooled their resources? Not too many. That's not wise. Let me take this caller before we have to go off the air. Good evening, caller. How you doing?
Hi, how are you this afternoon? Evening.
I'm good. Same fight, different rounds. Stick and move, bob and weave.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And I want to say it's seriously disturbing how our black people are thinking. Now, if the minister is following the principles of God, how can anybody say he's not right? Period. And for all these black men that have sons, they should join him. They should join him.
Absolutely.
With what is right.
Absolutely.
Everybody is just hustling off of our struggles. That's not right. That's not right.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yes, it should make all of us from 60 on up to get out and do our part.
Absolutely. Thank you. You are absolutely right. Everybody out there that have a son, there's no way you should keep them away from the FOI, the teaching. There's no way. I mean, how could a man in third grade make a man like Malcolm, man like Muhammad Ali, man like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, man like Wharf Dean Muhammad, a man like Minister Michael Muhammad, a man like Gregory Sang, a man like so many, a man like Dr. Wesley, a man like Rodney Muhammad, man, I mean, come on, the list goes, a man like Malik, a man like, I can just go on and on. But you're afraid of that. You're afraid. You want us to be so soft and I'm forgiving and we should be all of that. We very loving, very tender. But this time requires soldiers. We need soldiers, man. We so caught up into phoniness. We need soldiers. We need soldiers on our side. We need soldiers with us everywhere we go. And if they're not connected to this, they cannot be effective in making this relationship in our community work. We need soldiers. Don't you think so? Don't you think so, Brother Calvin? Brother Michael Fitzgerald just joined us right here. It's important. It's important that we have unity in our community. The new black leadership, folks, is the answer. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to hear so much more. And we want you all to stay in tune with what we have to say and what we believe in. It's about organizing and coalition building. And it's about exposing those that are just pimping our community. Getting over and not producing zero. I said not producing zero, not developing any leaders. They didn't get comfortable. And when they walk in the room, too many of you all run up to them worshiping them. And that's why many of them have taken you all for granted. No. We need them, we love them, we respect them, but some of them need to sit down. I heard one of them this morning on WVON. Need to sit your butt down. You know who I'm talking about. I love you, but you totally out of touch with what must be done. Again, you've been listening to the New Black Leadership Coalition. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, don't forget, on Monday nights, Intellectual Radio, 7 o'clock, here at CAN Television on Tuesday, 7:30. I'm not going off the air right now for Facebook Live, but I am for CAN Television. Thank you all for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing and hearing from you next week. Peace.